Alright, so I wanted to... that last video is kind of, it's going to tie into what I'm doing right now. And then what I'm doing on a grand scale. It's kind of like, you know, if other white people, or other people say, you know, like, you know, he's putting, you know, this and this out there. You know, I just want to be clear that the other white men don't set the value of the nigger for me. They don't do that. So I don't want to either, you know. And I'm trying to be vague here. Trying to fucking be vague. Because if you like talk and give it all away, you know, you're supposed to give it all away. That's what they told me. And I wouldn't. So, you know, I'm respecting this game part. The game part, you can't just tell the game. But then, you know, if the game turns like, you know, we gotta upgrade this shit. But if we get an upgrade, we get like, you know, power trips and shit. So I don't want to do that because we already had that. And then things already got out into the open. So then I already got too much. So anyway, for anybody that wants to lie to me, say, well, he got too much. Nah, man, nah, we got it all. We got more than you. Bro, I'm not arguing you. I'm not arguing you. Because then it's going to, like, set values and other shit. So there's a whole business aspect to communication and language. And I was doing this thing called a blackout. And I was doing that a while ago. I was doing, like, this thing called blackout. And if I tie anything into like something, you know, that relates to culture, that's like not what I'm trying to fully express, is that I want to tie into your culture and be like you. That's not what I'm doing. But I can understand, like, you know, how people can assume. That's what we let Elon Musk do now. We let him assume. So you can assume, you know, and there's that old tradition, you assume you make an ass out of you and me. But if you had a feast of assumptions, and the other versions of me don't want you to know this. So I'm like a DC direct connection that Donald Trump could never get. He could never really get that, but whatever. Because the phone only goes up to 9, 1, 2, 3, and then it's an abortion, you know. So I can tie into that too, of like my own little thing, like my side culture. So I can tie into that and what I kind of use or head in the direction of. It's not because of anybody down here. I was never like, wow, I want to be like rappers. I want to do this. Wow, look at that guy. You know, like as soon as they start doing it, when they were doing that, I was like, all right, this is corny. You know, that's real corny. So like, there's no point in that. No point in that. But I don't want to be like anyone else either in that aspect of, you know, like psychology and science and cognitive psychologists are going to tell me how to be. It's kind of like I would prep that. I would prep that to come about so we could get that over with. He thinks we're going to live there, you know. So he thinks we're going to stay there for a while. And this is all part of the big picture. The big picture. That'll tie into everything. Not that I would ever say openly, just that I would know and work as my frames of reference. That's probably why I had the most votes ever in history. Ever. I have the most votes ever in history you're just putting stuff in an empty ballot box, because I really am Donald Trump. And I can explain how that is and how that works. But I don't want to talk openly about that. Because I've been traumatized by other white people growing up. So now I only want to talk to niggers. I'm like a police officer. They like codified me into this weirdo police officer, you know, that you would like make relations to out there. You're like, oh shit, this guy, he just keeps coming after this black dude. Like this is the fucking police. This is the image of the police. And it's like, you know, those people kind of get the gist of what I do. It's like I'll skit in Disneyland with you all day, but it's like, you know, certain people touch my ears. You don't touch my ears, and you don't touch my sticker. My ex, you don't touch that, because then we got to go through all this stuff. I go through all that doesn't even pertain to you. Pertains to niggers, because he can't hear. Well, he can hear, but you know, you're saying other things. So then you're like, well, he'll get solidarity for us out there. And it's like, yeah, that'll tie into the collective consciousness. Then you'll feel a part of things and welcome. And it's like, that's what he wants. He wants you to break down out there and take his pharmaceuticals and be like, I'm lonely. I want to take your womanly love. So then maybe he can take it away someday. You know, he wanted to give you pride, so maybe he can take that away. You know, he'll give you shit that he can give you and take away. I'm telling you, I learned that shit a long time ago. Learned that shit a long time ago. So, I kind of started doing similar. And, you know, I have a lot of success with that. I'll be like, here you go. You know, they'll take it and I'll be like, all right, you know, see if you can keep that. Because of the manner and how they take. Because they steal. I know they steal because of a lot of things that I'm looking at. Only niggers steal. That's like one of the most important references that my daddy taught me. And to me, white supremacy is a lot different. So I'd just take white supremacy. I would take that. The other white people aren't going to do shit about it anyway. They'll be like, they're just going to do the old dynamic. That guy's just a troll. He's just, there he goes again. He's just trolling. So I was like, all right. You know, he would do that X amount of times before I would totally slide him. And he would think we were on some Matrix glitch shit. Always glitching the Matrix. Oh, he gave me fucking dyslexia now. He gave me mad scientist of the underworld. And it's like he can't even barely give me a 2 nigger party. He'll give me 2 white people. And then I give, you know, that's like autonomy. He'll put out 2 and over here it'll be like, you know, a whole. Then I work with that whole. They're not going to, why would you work with a whole correctly over here if you're seeing a person? You know, so that makes no sense. So, that's also how I get freedom. Then if I don't have total freedom, then there's something going wrong. There's something out of place. Because then I can get freedom back. I can even increase freedom when something's out of place. So then it's like, well, how am I doing that? It's like I can't really talk openly how I'm doing that. So it's like, people don't believe that there was a takeover of more than Twitter. And that out there they'll just follow me. So it's almost like they're putting a slur in the sky for climate change. And it's like, that's what I would do. but they would do everything backwards. So that the 5th season, I don't want to talk about the 5th season because sometimes for me it's telepathic. You can see it in your mind. The 5th season, if you're calm, be still and know yourself. Be still. Nobody wants to be still. It's just unnatural. It's like, stop fucking fighting me. That's how I got tackled. And that's how I still, I get by. It's like, don't fucking remember when you got some sense. Don't go back to the old you. Not even if, all this other stuff happens. So where they call you like a king, you're a king.